Good evening, fuckers. We are back with the next Train Simulator Classic request video, and this one is a second request from Yorksman 9868, and yeah, actually able to do it exactly as requested. So we're on the Weardale and Teesdale Rail Network. We will be starting at Wearhead, and our destination is Durham. So it's not a huge distance, it's about 35-36 miles. And our loco is a Class 101, one of the early DMUs. Certainly a loco that was running at the time that this route DLC is set. This is very much set in the 50s. This particular DLC, although we are still going to look a little bit like we've come from the future, because yeah, I was asked to have the Class 101 in BR Blue, which it is, but yeah, everything else that's running on this network will be in the original British Railways green. So yeah, we are going to stand out a little bit. Not a big deal, but you know. Yeah, and also we are going to be in a 4-car Class 101, which is not hugely common, but I thought we'd do something a little bit different. So usually 101s are just 2 carriage units. So yeah, we've got 2 101s joined together. And as for the specifics, it's spring, it's cloudy, and it's 11:30 AM. We are going to be stopping at all stations. The Class 101 service, it would definitely be an all stations run, and yeah, we are not going to make an exception there. This route, there are some stations, you know, certainly around between Wearhead and Durham, but not a huge number, so I don't think it's going to really sort of hold things up a bit. Should still make for a decent video though, because this is a fantastic route. It's another one of those scenic routes that I really do like. So let's get this one up and running. And here we are. And if you had any doubts about the scenery, well, you see straight away some amazing views. We'll be driving right through all of that lot. Okay, we'll have a check outside in a sec. Let's just get everything set up. So we've got the lights done. We'll put the instrument lights on. In fact, making very little difference, the old instrument lights. Okay, well we'll keep them on anyway. Cab light there, I don't think we need that. So yeah, we are pretty much set up. So here we are. Yeah, our BR blue colour is very dark, very metallic, but yeah, it is certainly there. Let's let everyone on. In fact, our front unit, the doors didn't open. Okay, I can kind of see why this one didn't, but this one had no reason not to. But yeah, what a view. And we're going to have plenty of these really great views throughout the run. So we're in 101, so it does mean manual gears. Well, it does mean manual brakes as well, but yeah, manual gears. Let's get up and running. Does also mean semaphore signals, I think, for pretty much the entire route, which is not great news for me. Oh yeah, I made a right balls up of that. Run a 1 in 76 downhill, and I wonder the speed was picking up a bit lively. We are very soon entering a 45 mph zone, which will certainly help. Here we are. Yeah, the manual gears hasn't been very well simulated. I'm treating them a damn sight more harshly than they could really stand. Still on this 1 in 76 downhill. In fact, it's going on for quite a distance. Despite the age of the Class 101, it actually ran for a significant amount of time. I'm pretty sure it didn't completely come out of service until well into the 80s. Might even be a bit later than that, but yeah, it was quite a successful multiple unit. So St John's Chapel is our first stop. I think we'll be able to get the entire train on there. Again, this 1 in 76 downhill gradient we're on is going to make it a bit awkward when it comes to stopping here. Really does look like we're in the middle of nowhere with this station, but nevertheless. Yeah, I think we've done all right there. Front one's still not opened. So here we are at St John's Chapel. I assume that is St John's Chapel itself right there. Anyway, it's a short stop. Let's get back underway. by locomotive engine standards, this is quite a high revving engine in this unit, 1900 RPM. Although, yeah, the 1900 RPM didn't change even by one when we were changing gear, so yeah. So we're still going downhill, 1 in 107. We are still picking up speed, but nothing like as much as we were, as we are approaching Westgate station, just under a mile. Take speed down to low 40s. We're now on a 1 in 86 downhill section, so we're going to be picking up speed at a good rate here. Brake pretty hard for this stop. I think I may have overdone it. In fact, there's no may have, I did overdo it. So again, front carriage doors will not open. But yep, the other three all fine. So Westgate station. So we do have what looks very much like a Class 27 there. Okay, back underway. So yeah, that Class 27 in the British Railways green. Yeah, all of the locos that we will be encountering on this run will be in that livery. That said, I don't think we are going to be encountering too many other locos. But it's quite a pleasant surprise that that 27 was there. Alright, well, I don't want to be picking up too much more speed because we have a 15 mph section coming up. If we're coasting, we're supposed to have it in 4th gear while coasting. So again, on another downhill gradient, 1 in 105. Well, that 15 mph section looks like it's a fair distance. Not ideal, especially as, yeah, we are still going downhill for a fair bit of it. not supposed to take it down to second gear, but yeah, this 105 section, in, you know, combined with this really low speed that we're having to go, is making this section a real pain in the arse. And this zone goes on for half a mile. And it looks like we are going downhill for pretty much all of it. So we're in that 15 zone. So now, yeah, we've really got to watch what we're doing here. Just slightly too late with the braking there. And then I overdid it there. Carrying on here, I'm rather glad about. So we'd have to be slowing down even more if we were, yeah, turning off at those points. Right, we are fast approaching the 45 zone now. It's pretty much, yeah, once the entire train is off those points that we've just gone over. I think we'll be good. There we go. So we have Eastgate platform coming up, or Eastgate station. Yet again, it's a downhill gradient all the way there. Yeah, I think this run is actually going to take longer than I initially thought, because it looks like 45 is going to be our maximum speed for the whole thing. And we do have a lot of these small sort of village stations along the way, so yeah, it's not going to be some quick little jaunt or something. I did it a bit there. very short station here. I think we're going to be alright though. I think we will actually get the entire train on the platform. Yep, we did. The whole thing. So, this is Eastgate station here. Like all these other stations around here, it's little more than a halt, but it still works just as well. Right, onwards. I have no idea what the next station is. So yeah, Durham is still 30 miles away, so yeah, this is not going to be certainly not a short jaunt in terms of the duration. Still going downhill, 1 in 172, that's not so bad, that gradient. I don't think that's going to have any effect on our speed. No, in fact we do start slowing down if I come off the throttle. So it will take us up to 45 and then we will start coasting. Was hoping for a trackside view. Looked like I had the tail lights on the front, so let's get the lights changed. Yeah, there we go, that's better. So fairly cruising along at a steady 44.6, that's not bad. The next station is coming up and that is Stanhope. Ourselves down to low 40s for the initial approach. Now let's get ourselves to sort of mid to low 30s. I do think it's not just a shame, I think it's absolutely outrageous that pretty much this entire line that we are running on, none of it still exists. A lot of it, yeah, had the beaching axe. It's a fair sized station actually for this area. So yeah, here we are at Stanhope. All the doors are open. Again, a very short stop. That would have done the gearbox the world of good, that. So in this 25 zone, this is while we go over the bridge and these points, we're still gaining speed because of this downhill gradient we're on. Now we are into a 45 zone. Okay, I thought we had just caught it, but no. Downhill gradient is just giving us, yeah, it's just enough to increase our speed. Now, I don't know if this is points we're coming up to or if it's a weak bridge. Nevertheless, we do have to bring our speed down to 20 for a very short while. It looks like it's putting us in an avoiding line, so there's one station, this Frosterley station, that we are avoiding. Unless, of course, Frosterley is something completely different, like, you know, it's a freight depot of some kind. So that was a distance signal, but it says that, yeah, the next signal is all clear. I am at least starting to learn what the various colours on the actual arms of the semaphore signals indicate. So I am getting somewhere. It's just being able to see what they are showing from a distance that I have trouble with. This one looks fine. Okay, so it was points. Now we're on here. once the entire train's on, we can go back to doing 45. I think we'll need to take us down to second gear again. Here we go. Right, 45, and yeah, this is an avoiding line for this station. That's a bit of a shame, that. So yeah, Frosterley station we are not stopping at. Plenty of wagons around, but yeah, not so many of the actual locos. So we had, we were a bit lucky when we saw that Class 27 earlier on. So we are on 151 downhill. Now I know from earlier that's still enough to increase our speed. Yeah, it is still going up. Slowly, but we get the chance to check some external views. I say the views around here I think are absolutely fantastic. As far as the routes within England, this is definitely one of the most scenic. I mean, there's no shortage of good scenic routes in England. You got this. Settle the Carlisle run, you got the Riviera line, you know, down in South Devon. There's plenty of them. It's now 1 in 1 of 49, so it has got steeper, only just, but nevertheless, it is steeper. And it's still the overhead cam. And again, so it doesn't look like we're going to get any trackside views. So we have another station coming up, Walsingham. I've definitely heard of Walsingham. I can't think where I've heard it, you know, from, but I have definitely heard of it. Yeah, this looks like quite a large station for around here. Fairly major size, and of course platforms on both sides. So this must be a pretty major stop. So here we are at Walsingham. Clearly right on the outskirts of the village. Again, very short stop. Okay, let's get back underway. So we can pull away fairly quickly, but we do have a reduction to 25 coming up in a third of a mile. It is quite a short short zone. So again, I'm thinking it must be points that we are going over. Soon find out. Well, okay, it's not points we're going over, we're rejoining the main line. We are rejoining it through points, so I suppose you could say it's anyway, there we are. Let's get back underway. Downhill section is still increasing our speed for us. We seem to have been going downhill for almost this entire run. I can only assume we will start going uphill at some point before we reach Durham. Right, so well, it has levelled out quite a bit now, 1 in 235. Go a bit faster than that. So next station is coming up, Harperley. I'm sure it's not pronounced the same as the author. Well, I say author in inverted commas, most overrated writers of all time, but yeah, Harperley, not Harperley. Oh, this looks like a really short station. I'm not sure we're going to fit everything here. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, in fact, looks like we have done quite alright. The rear one hasn't opened. No, but look at that. They could easily have all got off there. We'll say there was no one in that carriage. Yeah. It's the only reason the doors didn't open. So you didn't get the chance to really look at Harperley here. So yeah, here we are. I mean, it's a station in the middle of nowhere. Yeah, it really is. The only other building I can see is these sort of like farm buildings over there. Yeah, this is definitely one of those routes where if you like the really fast intercity sort of runs, you don't want to come anywhere near this route. But if you like, especially if you like the scenic routes, this is a must-have. It's such a great route to travel on. So next station coming up, Witten-le-Weir. We're on one in 98 downhill, so that's going to make the approach to this station a bit awkward. Well, it does look like it flattens out before we actually get there, so we might be alright. Yeah, it's now 1 in 300, that's not going to have any impact on us at all, so yeah, the actual approach to the station should be fine. Take us down to mid-20s. Considering how rudimentary the braking systems on these early DMUs were, actually not done too badly. It does take them a while to actually start working, but once they do work, they work pretty well. So here we are, this is Witten the Weir. So again, we're pretty much on the outskirts of the actual village. I guess though, these village stations, they're always going to be right on the outskirts. You're hardly going to build the village, you know, outwards from the station. The village needs to be here before the railway would come to it, so right, onwards. Durham is 15.5 miles away. Well, we'll take us up to 4th gear, but yeah, we gotta lose a lot of speed. In about 3/4 of a mile, it goes down to 15. Again, I don't know if that is due to points or what. I mean, the fact that it's saying Weir Valley Junction, so it's, yeah, it's got to be points. Whether we are actually changing lines or if it is just, yeah, the sheer number of points we're going over, I don't know. And even then, I mean, it could be a lot of points relative to this particular line, bearing in mind this is clearly a very small scale sort of rail network here. So yeah, we've got 4 lines here now. By this network standards, that's a huge amount. It's actually a lot more than I thought it was going to be. I didn't think we'd have as many as 4 lines running concurrently. Okay, so we are fine for the 15 mph limit, which we are fast approaching. So this is the Weir Valley Junction. Are we going to see any other locos? No, plenty of goods wagons left laying around, which did seem to be normality for this sort of era. It looks like we are joining a main line. none of those signals apply to us. So we're back into a 45 zone. Start building up the speed again. I mean, there's no doubt that this particular rail network, the priority for it was goods transporting, but obviously, yeah, there would be passenger services as well. Now, once we hit Durham and that, we're quite likely to see, you know, like a couple of 105s. And possibly, you know, a couple of 101s as well. May even see a couple of 117s. So, yep, oh, here we go. We actually have the old British Railways Class 37 there. This has a very sort of mainline feel to it. This helped in no small part the fact that there are two lines running next to each other now. So Bishop Auckland, I don't know if we're going to be stopping there. We should. Bishop Auckland is quite a major station, but no, it's putting us through the avoiding line. So we're stopping at all of those, you know, we did stop at all those small village stations, but here we are approaching Bishop Auckland, and that one we're avoiding. Doesn't make a great deal of sense to me, to be honest, but here you go. Really not supposed to be coasting in second gear. If you're coasting, it should always be in fourth gear, but there you go. Like I say, this the gearing system in any of the multiple units with the manual gears, it's not been done very well. It's a very rudimentary implementation of it, but at least it's there in some way, shape or form. If you want to see it in any other locos, then yeah, along with the class 101 here, It also appears in the Class 105, the Class 111, Class 117 and the Class 121 bubble car. So we're into the 15 zone. See, I mean, compared to the areas we've just come from while we're on that small branch, I mean, this is a big bloody town that we're going through, and yet we are not stopping at the station here. It doesn't make any sense at all to me. So we have a Class 8 shunter there. It's been years since I drove a shunter in the game. I'm not a fan of driving them, but the fact that it has been so long, maybe I should have a go in one of them. So over there, I genuinely can't remember. It could be another 101. Once we get a bit closer to it, I might be able to tell what it is. You can certainly tell if it's a 105 easily enough. See, it's not going to be a 101 because there's 3 cars there, so it might be a 105. You've got a Class 27 loco there. I used to have the Hornby Railway Class 27. Yeah, I think that is a 105. It's a relatively recent addition to my sort of fleet of locos in this game. I had the 105 in BR Blue for ages, but I've only recently got it in the British Railways Green. So we're getting the proper tour of Bishop Auckland here. But it amazes me that yeah, it put us on the avoiding line for Bishop Auckland here. Really do not see the sense in that. So we're entering a 25 zone. So we've effectively driven right through Bishop Auckland town. Now that we are leaving it, I'm speeding as we go. We are soon approaching a 45 zone. Over this rather huge viaduct here. So here we are on the in the 45 zone now. One in 112 downhill, that is definitely going to increase our speed. So Hunwick, so we're going to be stopping here at Hunwick station, even though we didn't stop at Bishop Auckland. If anyone watching this can come up with an explanation as to why that is happening, then you know, feel free to do so, because I really cannot begin to figure out why it has done that. Yeah, I was braking very slightly too early. Yeah, we'll be okay here. There we go. So, yeah, this is, well, Hunwick. I suspect it's pronounced Hunwick, but, yes. Yeah, very much another one of those villages. Well, I say villages, I mean the station looks like it's in the middle of nowhere and there's nothing around it. You've got a couple of houses here. Yeah, I think it's very much an agricultural sort of station there. Have a slight upward climb approaching. I don't think it's going to, yeah, it's not going to have any impact on us. 1 in 386 is no problem. So, Wellington station coming up. And it looks like the next signal might be I mean, if it is a red, I've left it far too late to do anything about it, but it looks like it's fine. And it is. And so it's the next one after it, so yeah, okay. Won't worry about that then. But we will start braking because I've left it a bit late. Yeah, I was braking way too hard there. We're now on a 1 in 100 uphill climb. I'm wondering if we are now then going to be climbing uphill all the way to Durham. I mean, it is less than 7.5 miles away now, so it's not like it's, you know, we've got a vast distance to traverse while going uphill. Yeah, that 1 in 100 climb is continuous through the station here. It doesn't level off while we're actually in the station. Which is not ideal. But there we go. So this is Willington. Looks like a fairly major village. You could almost say this is a small town. Again, very short stop. Need to get a little bit of power on before releasing the brakes, otherwise we would have started rolling back. So I'll leave it a little longer between gear shifts, because if you're in too high a gear while trying to go uphill, the power isn't always either the gearing will be in too high a gear really to really sort of climb that well. Although that said, 1 in 100 we shouldn't have any issues even in an old DMU like this thing. You get a really good clear view out of the front windscreens in the old DMUs. When you look at this and then you compare it to, you know, a modern one like the 385, which I do really like, but Jesus Christ, you barely see through the windscreen, it's so small. We have another class 37. And another one up ahead here. No, it isn't. That's the 27. Past whatever colliery this is. No idea which one. I just realised, yeah, this 40 mph section coming up and I haven't done a thing about it. Yeah, that was total bollocks up on my part there. Clearly, yeah, this curve is why the speed restriction is here. We can go back up to 45 though pretty soon, especially now we're off the curve, but we do have Brantspeth station coming up. That's my Southern England thing there, calling it Brantspeth. It's probably Brantspeth, but so we're in the 45 zone, but really no need to accelerate as we've got the station coming up anyway. certainly a decent sized platform here. The station itself doesn't look particularly large or major. It may be because we are now on the actual like main line part. Yeah, the stations will all be, well, the station platforms anyway will all be longer to accommodate the larger trains. So anyway, this is Branspeth or Branspeth, but again it's a station that seems to be serving one building. So I would imagine that must be another agricultural one. I wouldn't be at all surprised if Durham is the next stop, because yeah, it's not even 4.5 miles away. Do have a relatively sharp drop coming up, and once again my powers of prediction. So Brandon Colliery is the next stop. Start slowing rather early, but yeah, say this downhill section, we are already on it, but yeah, it's now just got a lot steeper, 1 in 100 downhill. Well, I thought with the name we would be actually at the colliery itself, but it certainly doesn't look like that's the case. So this is Brandon Colliery. I mean, that looks like it's a fairly major building, but there's no sign of the lift mechanic. It looks more like, actually to be honest, it looks more like a prison. So yeah, bit of a surprising one, that. Anyway, we're done here. Let's get back underway. Durham is now less than 3 miles away. I'll have another stab at saying that, yeah, my prediction is that Durham will be the next stop. Ah, here's the colliery here. the station is a little bit out of the way. It has that real sort of like mining town sort of look about it. Because these days, there aren't any. Because, yeah, we now live in an age where, you know, the communities of towns such as this, yeah, those in charge do not give a monkey's toss about them. The 20 MP8 section coming up. Relatively long one, about half a mile, so that's certainly not because of points. But I don't know what it is there for. One of many viaducts over there. So again, the distance signal is saying that, or showing yellow. Over, yep, another of the viaducts here. Okay, so we're fine for the speed limit here. The signals here are saying it's fine, and the distance one is saying that that one will be fine as well. So we are approaching an 80 MP8 section. I think it is extremely unlikely that we'll make it to 80 in this thing. I'm not sure what the max speed is. There you go, it's 70. But also bearing in mind that, yeah, by the time we get to that 80 MP8 section, Durham will be just shy of a mile away. Yeah, we won't get anywhere near the chance to reach 70 mph, let alone 80. Messy junction here, but well, we're on it. We're now entering the 80 zone. And we are now in it. So we'll see how fast we can get before Durham, but I don't think it's going to be anything special. No, it certainly won't be. Okay, right, we're getting a bit close to that 25 MP8 zone. Let's start slowing down at Durham Cathedral, which we are just passing over there. approaching the station at a much faster rate than I thought. So we have, now that's either a 117 or a 111 in that, on that platform there to the right. I'm pretty sure actually it's a 117. And another right here. But there we are. So that was Wearhead to Durham in the Class 101. And okay, I did get a couple of speeding errors. Well, I think I got a fair few of them actually. But yeah, all in all, I don't think I did too badly. And yeah, that is a great run. Like I said earlier, if you like your high speed intercity runs, this route is not for you. But if you like the scenic and rather sort of like serene routes, then this is, yeah, a great one. And I really did like that one. Yeah, sometimes you just need a more serene sort of drive, which this one certainly was. And the scenery really does sort of like add to it. It's a great scenic route, this. So yeah, 5 speeding errors. It's about the norm for me, really, isn't it? Yeah, not brilliant, but yeah, better than quite a few other drives I can think of. So there we go. That is that video done, and we will see you at the next one.